is a war. It's happening now. It will decide the fate of humanity. The time to choose sides has come. We are the resistance. We are the info war. We launched the new InfoWars website last night, and it is got a lot of bugs in it, obviously. And we're going to try to run it through the weekend and clean up the bugs, and we're not able to. We'll revert back to the old site next week for folks. But if you like the old design, prisonplanet.com is very similar to InfoWars, just different color scheme. So prisonplanet.com is there for folks that like the old format. I mean, overall, I like the site. It's more responsive, and it'll work better on mobile devices once we've tweaked it. But there are things that we just can't get fixed, like a 2-week-old Larry Klayman YouTube interview that's in the featured video area on the right-hand side of all the article pages. You know, there's stuff like that. So send your issues and your ideas, because I pointed that out last night, and it's still there. We're just trying to figure out how to get that ghost out of the machine to showtips@infowars.com. And like I said, you know, the article page looks better. It's cleaner, more modern. We haven't updated InfoWars design in 8 years. Now, some things like Drudge, again, around since 95, 96, the web is going to simpler and simpler and cleaner and cleaner. So it's so old that it's now the cutting edge yet again. And, of course, you could go with a design like that. And we've looked at some other designs. If this doesn't pan out right, we've got some that are more like the London Guardian was before they changed it again a few months ago. The problem is taking your old website and then integrating it in with all of the new information, because you've got a website around since, you know, 96, like our website, and then all those articles, all that information, you've got to integrate that in with a new design. It is a kettle of fish, and we have hired a couple different companies, and then they've done a great job, and then we're just here trying to integrate it in on our end. So we'll be talking about some of that. But the new InfoWars is up today, and you can check that out and see it for yourself. And you'll see tweaks and changes happening to it throughout the day. But it's meant to have, you know, a more responsive feel and work better on mobiles, even though right now it's working on mobiles, but probably not the way it should, because it blocks out a lot of the info. In fact, we're going to be converting the mobile thing just for now to a static look where it's the full website, and then you just kind of go around and look at what you want to, like the old InfoWars. That's an idea. We can make the mobile the old InfoWars. I don't, that sounds completely... Or we could upload 2 versions every day to where you could have either version of what you want. This is the type of stuff, you know, that we deal with. But bottom line, it's about this radio show. What pulls the entire train? The news, the filmmaking, the news sites, everything. It is this radio show. It is yours truly, El Pumpkinhead.
You are watching the best of the Alex Jones Show, weekdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central. Watch live at Infowars.com/show or become a member of InfoWarsNews.com and help us take resistance to the next level.
There is no case that stands for the contrary of that proposition.
Can it survive based on the pressure that it's going to receive?
I don't think so. That's a great question. This is a radical new era of tyranny for the White House. I can't imagine it getting to first base.
Right. Now, what do you recommend Roger Ailes do?
If the FCC shows up here, Mr. Ailes, throw them out, unless they have a search warrant from a judge, which they'll never get.
That's right, but they don't care. They'll show up, and everybody will kiss their butt, or they'll tie it to licensing, and they'll do it. They're going to do it. And they already send these federal bureaucrats here for these business assessments, part of the census. Totally unconstitutional. They get real threatening and say, you're going to answer all our questions, and I say, get out of here. Well, I was saying, I'll tell you the #1 cause of death for black people. It's not just in New York City, but that's the CNSnews.com headline. More black babies killed by abortion than born. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Simply amazing. More killed by abortion than born. And that is part of the national average as well. But don't hold your breath to hear the NAACP talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever hold your breath to discuss anything like that. By the way, pretty amazing from the FBI. Well, first off, the FCC commissioner came out and criticized Obama's plan and Holder's plan, because that's who's driving it. They run everything, to come into every newsroom and, quote, make sure you're covering news that helps women and minorities. That's just a way to get into the newsroom and then start claiming everything's racist or whatever. It's the First Amendment. You have no right, period, to be involved. No matter what the news is, I can put whatever, quote, slant on it I want. My slant is freedom. My bias is liberty. I'm going to engage in a serious agenda of truth and the Constitution from a libertarian perspective. I wear it on my sleeve. They're like, ooh, we're going to find if there's bias. Bias, the Attorney General runs around saying brainwash people against guns. So on the heels of that, and our reporter David Knight's been calling the FCC the last few days about this. He's tried to get comments from them. They've been stonewalling, and then now they've been flip-flopping. So this is going to be some breaking news from the FCC that you're about to hear. And then maybe one of our writers wants to pick up on this and put it out, because it's definitely national news what they're up to. But shifting gears into another First Amendment chilling effect, Weekly Standard reports, senators demand FBI head answer questions about indictment of Dinesh D'Souza. So that's good. The issue that he's clearly being politically persecuted, even if you don't believe that when the evidence is overwhelming that he is, imagine if Michael Moore, 2 years after he put out Fahrenheit 9/11, had been indicted by the Bush White House Justice Department. I mean, people would be freaking out. I would be freaking out over some campaign donations of a few $1,000s that bundling is completely done across the board by Democrats, Republicans. It's the same stuff they indicted Ken Lay and spent 6 years trying to put him in jail for. So here it is. Senators demand FBI head answer questions about indictment of Dinesh D'Souza. 4 United States senators have written a letter to FBI Director James Comey about the indictment of author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza. Senator Charles Grassley, ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. So this is bipartisan, you notice. Jeff Sessions, Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, and four senators, all Republicans, but also some Democrats who have signed the letter. The letter quotes Harvard Law School professor Alan Dershowitz as saying, I can't help but think D'Souza's politics have something to do with it. It smacks of selective prosecution. And, of course, you know he's a big Democrat. And the senators write, to dispel the sort of public perception that Mr. D'Souza may have been targeted because of his outspoken criticisms of the president, it's important for the FBI to be transparent regarding the precise origin of the investigation. Well, folks, here's the issue. Obama got about a third, you can look this up, of his donations last go-around, and before that as well, from offshore IP addresses and public offshore. He would go to offshore foreign fundraisers, quote, where Americans would be meeting him, but he would get all sorts of money. And then you've got Solyndra and Fast and Furious and all the bid rigging and all the corruption and the takeover of General Motors and taking the franchises away from people that weren't Democrats. I mean, just really mafia government type stuff. And when they go after Republican governors for crooked toenails, when they go after filmmakers, everybody is in deep trouble, obviously. And that's coming out. Yeah, there's a headline right there. Obama's offshore team, some of the president's top donors are foreign tax havens. Yep, just look it up. It appears from U.S. Attorney's Office comment, this is the senators, that the FBI conducts regular, perhaps random reviews of campaign filings. Is this correct? If so, what methodologies the FBI uses to conduct these reviews? Well, let me tell you, they admit with the IRS they didn't audit one 501c3 progressive or Democratic or communist organization. That came out in the news last year. In fact, pull that up, guys. They didn't audit one or hold up one of their charity authorizations. You got to understand, folks, all of our ancestors, no matter where you've come from, have absolutely had to go through hell and back so that we would have any basic liberty, any basic dignity from all the corrupt kings and regimes and oppressors that have come and gone. And Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and everything that has been Western jurisprudence has been an absolute godsend to humanity. And it is now being destroyed by the globalists. It is now being removed, decimated, brought low. And I am here to try to bring it back. Now, continuing here with some of the news that is coming up today, obviously, that is up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. There is just a ton of it that we are going to be breaking down today. China is starting to make a power move against the U.S. dollar. More on Obama administration embedding government researchers to monitor media organizations. That's called spies, government spies, openly coming into your organization to dig up things to try to throw at you. We're going to get into Polish minister. If opposition does not accept deal in Ukraine, martial law will be declared and you'll all be dead. There's been an accord signed in Ukraine, but doubts are strong, the New York Times reports. The embattled president of Ukraine and leaders of the opposition signed a political deal today aimed at ending a spiral of lethal violence with early elections and a reduction in presidential powers. But Russia declined to endorse the accord, and many protesters said nothing short of president's resignation would get them off the street. So that is what is coming up on that front. We will continue to watch what is going on that situation because it affects basically everything. Now, here's an article out of the Weekly Standard. Michelle Obama, young people are knuckleheads. That's a quote, which is why they need Obamacare. So I've seen the Obamacare ads. We've played them here where the good liberal parents know best and they get their college student to do it. But the college student is so trendy, they've already done it and explain that to mom and dad. And the sales job is young people have got to sign up and be screwed by this or no one else is going to be able to have the program continue forward. She said that on television last night. So we're going to be going over all of that report coming up as well today. Again, if you look at Infowars.com, it's a new design, and we've had some bugs in launching it. Let us know what you think of it. I think it's a nice, clean design. The article pages look nice. There's stuff like the featured top news stuff that I wanted to simply get moved from the top to the middle has been removed. So we'll be putting that back in. There's a lot of programming going on, a lot of shifting, a lot of testing on the fly this weekend with the site. And I'll make the determination whether I want to go with this design or not by Monday and go back with the old design until we come out with something else a month down the road. And I'm just going to keep going back to the drawing board until I like it and until you like it. This one's the closest yet to something that I would go with. But again, it's a train wreck when it comes to trying to get all the old data that's on there and then integrate it in with all the new data. But we're trying as best we can, so thank you for bearing with us. If you like the old look of Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com is basically that. And it will continue on for the foreseeable future. If you like that look, PrisonPlanet.com. But we are truly trying to innovate the sites and update them here and doing the best we can. So thank you all for your support and the crew. Was up here till late last night and this morning.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.